True creepy scary boating horror stories, YouTube, English. The sun hung low in the sky, casting long shadows across the tranquil waters of the private Florida Canal, where my family and I reside. Our secluded oasis was a perfect getaway, complete with jet skis and a cherished 35-foot Proline Express boat that my father had a special attachment to. Our home was nestled at the end of the canal, shielded from prying eyes by a small marsh and flanked by a sense of serenity. In the scorching heat, my sister and I embarked on our jet skis, venturing out of the canal into the vast expanse of the ocean. The journey from the canal to the open waters was about 15 minutes, offering us a choice between the bay or the ocean. On this particular day, we decided to cruise through the bay, sharing the waters with other boaters, enjoying the day amidst the waves. Our impromptu sojourn led us to an unexpected encounter. A medium-sized boat sidled up to us, captained by a man who appeared to be in his late 50s or early 60s. His belly spilled over his waistline, and he clutched a beer as if it were a rudder. Eager to converse, he regaled us with stories of his jet skis and his ostentatious waterfront abode, even extending an invitation to join him for a swim in his pool. Politely declining, we offered a vague response to his query about our origin. Our attempt to extricate ourselves was capped with a friendly wave as we departed. Distance provided an opportunity for laughter, but also a sense of relief as we discussed the encounter. While unsettling, it was not entirely unfamiliar, as attractive young women often face such interactions. Unperturbed, we continued our jet ski journey, the warm sun on our backs as we navigated the waters. As the day waned, we decided to return, cutting our aquatic adventure short. Cruising through the canal towards our home, we encountered a peculiar sight, a boat closely following in our wake. Its proximity was disconcerting, and upon inspection, it bore an eerie resemblance to the vessel from our earlier encounter. However, we continued onward, hoping to shake off the sense of unease. Our unease would not abate. As we approached the intersection of our canal and another waterway, we noticed the same boat once again. It seemed as if it had been tracking our movements, causing an uneasy knot to form in our stomachs. Despite the discomfort, we continued to our home and docked our jet skis, assuming that the odd encounter was behind us. However, the oddity had yet to reach its conclusion. Later that evening, the rhythmic barking of our dog pierced the stillness of the night. A foreboding chill crept over us as we stumbled out of bed to investigate. Peering out of the window, I caught a fleeting glimpse of a figure dashing across our backyard toward the dock. It was a momentary apparition that left me questioning my senses. I alerted my sister, and together, we hastened downstairs, flicking on lights as we went. But the trespasser had vanished, leaving only an unsettling aura behind. As we surveyed our yard, we couldn't help but connect this incident to the unnerving stranger from earlier. Our dog's protective presence likely deterred any further incursion, saving us from an even more harrowing experience. Recounting the events to our father, his anger mixed with concern for our safety, he implored us to prioritize security, a sentiment we understood but hadn't fully appreciated. We spoke with our neighbors, hoping to find surveillance footage that might unveil the stranger's identity or shed light on their intentions. Unfortunately, Our quest for answers was thwarted by the absence of surveillance cameras in our community. The aftermath left us wary. Each subsequent excursion on our boat or jet skis carried an undercurrent of vigilance, a subconscious awareness of the lurking unknown. Our once idyllic haven had been tinged by the unsettling presence that had infiltrated our peaceful existence. Though we held no concrete evidence of who or what had trespassed on our sanctuary, the memory of that encounter lingered, a reminder of the fine line between tranquility and unease. Over time, the memory of that unsettling encounter became a shadow that loomed over our otherwise peaceful life on the canal. The warm Florida sun still shone, and the waters still beckoned, but a sense of caution had embedded itself in our minds. Our jet ski rides and boat trips were now punctuated by a heightened sense of awareness, a constant scanning of the surroundings for any hint of the mysterious stranger. Despite our unease, life continued its rhythm. Days turned into weeks, and the canal gradually reclaimed its air of tranquility. We navigated the waters with a mixture of anticipation and trepidation, never quite able to shake off the eerie feeling that someone might be watching. As the seasons shifted, our focus shifted as well. The vibrant hues of autumn's arrival painted the landscape, and the urgency of that disconcerting incident began to fade. We returned to our routines, taking comfort in the familiarity of our surroundings and the bond of our family. Months later, as winter's chill settled over the canal, the memory of the mysterious stranger had almost become a distant echo. But then, a renewed unease struck, a subtle reminder that some fears never truly fade. One cold evening, as the family gathered around the fireplace, the topic of their unsettling encounter resurfaced in conversation. We exchanged stories, sharing our thoughts on the strange man who had invaded our peace. Each family member's perspective painted a different shade of fear, weaving together a tapestry of discomfort. The fire's crackle provided a backdrop to our tales, casting dancing shadows on the walls that seemed to mimic the presence of a lurking figure. As we laughed nervously, our dog suddenly rose from his slumber, ears perked and gaze fixed on the windows. A low growl rumbled from deep within him, his instincts attuned to something we couldn't see. Our conversation tapered off, replaced by an eerie silence that hung in the air like a heavy fog. The dog's reaction had served as a reminder that despite our efforts to suppress our unease, it was still alive, lurking just beneath the surface. The embers of our concerns had not been extinguished. They were merely smoldering, waiting for a gust of wind to fan them back into flames. Time has a way of blurring lines between reality and memory, often reshaping the past in our minds. Yet, that unsettling encounter remained a steadfast anchor in our collective consciousness, a reminder that even the most tranquil settings can harbor shadows. And while we continue to bask in the beauty of our canalside home, a veil of caution remained, casting a faint shroud of unease over our idyllic paradise. As we move forward, we strive to strike a balance between living freely and being vigilant, between embracing the joys of our waterfront haven and acknowledging the potential darkness that can encroach upon it. Our memories and our instincts have taught us that appearances can be deceiving, and a tranquil exterior may mask something altogether different beneath the surface.